Okay, so you guys have been sending me just a ton of stuff about AI lately, articles, research papers,
Yeah.
even some Reddit threads that got a little heated. And clearly you're all trying to stay ahead of the curve in this AI-powered world.
Yeah, it really feels like everywhere you turn, there's another headline about some crazy new AI breakthrough. It is a lot to keep up with.
It really is. And that's where we come in. We're going to take a deep dive into all this AI news and cut through the hype and try to help you make sense of what's really important.
Sounds like a plan. So where do we start? What's really kind of caught your eye in all of this?
Well, one thing that keeps popping up is this whole AI agent explosion.
Right.
And even Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI, he predicted that 2025 would be the year for AI agents and that they're going to completely change the way we work.
And you know what? He might be right. AI agents are essentially these self-directed systems that can sense their environment and make decisions and then take action, all to achieve some specific goal. Think of them like supercharged digital assistants that can actually get things done.
So not just setting timers and playing music, but actually handling complex tasks.
Exactly. And the potential applications are just mind-blowing. Imagine AI agents that can automate data entry, schedule meetings, even write reports. It could free up so much of our time for more creative and strategic work.
Now, I know we've been talking about AI for a while now, but why is there this sudden surge in interest in AI agents? What's changed?
Well, a few things have come together to create this kind of perfect storm. First, we've seen just these massive advancements in large language models, or LLMs, like ChatGPT. These LLMs give AI agents the brains they need to understand complex instructions and process information more like humans do.
Okay, that makes sense. But LLMs have been around for a while now. So what else is driving this AI agent frenzy?
Well, we're also seeing just a ton of investment pouring into the development of AI agent frameworks and platforms. Companies like Google, Microsoft, even Meta, they're all betting big on AI agents, and it's creating a lot of buzz and excitement.
It definitely feels like AI agents are having a moment. But I'm curious, are they really living up to the hype? Are there any real-world examples of AI agents in action?
There are already some pretty impressive examples out there. For instance, there are AI agents that can handle customer service inquiries, schedule appointments, and even manage social media accounts.
So some companies are already using AI agents to streamline their operations and improve efficiency.
Absolutely. And we're really just scratching the surface of what's possible. As AI agents continue to evolve, we can expect to see even more innovative and maybe even disruptive applications emerge.
Speaking of disruptive, I have to bring up the potential impact on jobs.
Hmm.
Are AI agents going to replace us all?
That's a question that I think everyone's asking, and it's a valid concern. I think it's important to remember that AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill.
So the key is to use AI agents responsibly and ethically to make sure they're helping us, not replacing us.
Exactly. AI agents have the potential to automate those tedious tasks, free up our time for more meaningful work, and even create entirely new job categories.
It's like a partnership. Humans and AI working together to achieve things that neither could do alone.
I like that way of thinking about it. And as AI agents become more sophisticated, I think this partnership will only become more important.
Okay, I'm starting to see the potential here.
Yeah.
But let's dig a little deeper into the different types of AI agents that are out there. I came across this World Economic Forum report that breaks down AI agents into 4 categories. Are you familiar with that?
I am. They've categorized them as simple reflex agents, model-based reflex agents, goal-based agents, and utility-based agents.
Okay, can you unpack that for us a little bit? What's the difference between these 4 types?
Think of it this way. A simple reflex agent is like a spam filter. It reacts to specific inputs without needing to understand the bigger picture.
Okay, so it's all about basic rules and reactions.
Right. Now, a model-based reflex agent is a step up. It can actually learn from past experiences and adapt its behavior accordingly. Think of a smart thermostat that learns your temperature preferences over time.
So it's starting to get a bit more intelligent. Can you give us an example of a goal-based agent?
Sure. Imagine a chess-playing AI. It has a specific goal in mind to win the game, and it uses these complex strategies and calculations to achieve that goal.
Makes sense. And finally, what about utility-based agents? What sets them apart?
These are kind of the most sophisticated type of AI agent. They use advanced algorithms to weigh different options and make decisions that maximize a certain utility or value.
Could you give us a real-world example?
A self-driving car is a great example of a utility-based agent. It constantly analyzes its surroundings, calculates the best route, and makes adjustments to ensure a safe and efficient journey.
Okay, I'm starting to get a clearer picture of these different AI agents. It's fascinating how they range in complexity from these simple rule-based systems to these highly sophisticated goal-oriented entities.
And the exciting thing is that we're still in the early stages of AI agent development. As technology continues to advance, we can expect even more innovative and powerful agents to emerge.
That's a bit scary and exciting at the same time.
Yeah.
But before we jump ahead, I want to talk about something you mentioned earlier, the hype cycle. I feel like with every new technology, there's this initial burst of excitement followed by a period of disillusionment and then finally a more realistic understanding of its true potential. Where are we on the hype cycle with AI agents?
That's a great question, and it's one that Chip Huyen, a well-known AI engineer, has been talking about. He argues that there's a tendency to over-index on early success with AI.
Meaning we get too excited about the initial demos and prototypes without fully grasping the challenges of bringing these systems to the real world.
Exactly. The first 80% of development might seem relatively straightforward, but it's that last 20%, the part where we need to iron out the kinks, address the edge cases, ensure reliability. That's the real challenge.
So what are some of the roadblocks that AI agent developers are facing?
Well, for one, AI agents can sometimes hallucinate,
I
which means they generate incorrect or nonsensical outputs. That's obviously a problem if you're relying on them to make important decisions or provide accurate information.
And imagine latency is another issue. No one wants to wait forever for an AI agent to respond, especially in a fast-paced work environment.
You're absolutely right. Latency, or the time it takes for an agent to process information and respond, is a critical factor in determining their usability.
And let's not forget about tool use. How do we equip AI agents with the ability to seamlessly interact with external tools and services?
Hmm?
For example, if you have an AI agent that's supposed to schedule meetings, it needs to be able to access your calendar and send out invitations.
That's a key area of development right now. Researchers are working on ways to give AI agents more robust tool-using capabilities so they can interact with the real world in a more meaningful way.
Okay, so it sounds like there are some significant technical hurdles to overcome before AI agents become truly mainstream. But let's talk about something that's been frustrating you lately, the cost of using OpenAI's models.
Yeah.
You mentioned that it's not always feasible to rely on ChatGPT for everything.
It's true. While OpenAI's models are incredibly powerful, they can also be quite expensive, especially for developers or researchers who are just starting out.
So what are the alternatives?
Well, that's where the exciting world of open source AI comes in.
Let's dive into that next time. We'll pick this back up in part 2 of this AI agent deep dive.
Looking forward to it. Welcome back. Last time we left off talking about the cost of using OpenAI's models
Right.
and how that's driving some people toward open source alternatives.
Right. You were about to tell me about some of those options.
Well, you mentioned being frustrated with OpenAI's pricing, and you know what? You're not alone. A lot of developers are looking for more affordable ways to experiment with AI agents.
Yeah, especially if you're just starting out or working on a personal project, those costs can really add up quickly.
Exactly, and that's where open source frameworks come in. They're kind of like the Robin Hood of the AI world, democratizing access to this really powerful technology.
Okay, I like the sound of that. But can these open source frameworks really compete with the big players like OpenAI?
They absolutely can. In fact, some of them are even surpassing the commercial offerings in certain areas.
For example,
Well, one framework that's been making waves is Small Developer. It's designed to be lightweight, user-friendly, and incredibly versatile.
Small Developer. That name sounds familiar.
You might have come across it in one of those Reddit threads you sent.
Mm-hmm.
It's gained a lot of popularity among developers who are looking for a simple and efficient way to build AI agents.
Right, I remember that thread now. Someone was asking about building an agent to handle all sorts of messy data tasks like extracting email addresses from usernames, converting dates into Unix timestamps, that kind of thing.
Exactly, and Small Developer would be perfect for that kind of project. It's surprisingly powerful for its size, and the beauty of it is that you don't need a ton of technical expertise to get started.
So even someone with limited coding experience could build a functional AI agent using Small Developer.
Absolutely. It's designed to be intuitive and easy to learn. And there's this really vibrant online community that's always willing to help out.
That's encouraging to hear. It seems like there's a real push to make AI development more accessible to everyone, not just the big tech companies.
There definitely is, and it's not just Small Developer. There are other open source frameworks out there that are gaining traction as well.
Like what?
Well, there's LangChain, which is known for its modularity and flexibility. It gives developers a lot of control over how their agents behave and interact with the world.
So LangChain is more for experienced developers who want to fine-tune every aspect of their agents.
You could say that it's a powerful tool, but it does require a deeper understanding of AI concepts and coding principles.
Okay, what about AGXT? You mentioned that one earlier too.
Right, AGXT takes a more comprehensive approach. It comes with a suite of pre-built tools and integrations that make it really easy to get started with common AI agent tasks.
So it's like a one-stop shop for building AI agents.
Kind of. It simplifies the development process and provides a lot of out-of-the-box functionality.
I see. So we've got small developer for beginners, LangChain for experts, and AGXT for somewhere in between.
That's a good way to think about it. Ultimately, the best framework for you will depend on your specific needs and technical skill set.
Speaking of specific needs, let's go back to that Reddit thread about the developer who wanted an agent to handle data cleaning.
Hmm.
Do you think open source tools are really up to the challenge?
I think they are, especially with a framework like Small Developer. It's designed to handle exactly those kinds of tasks.
But those are some pretty complex data manipulations. Extracting email addresses, linking IDs, adding HTML tags. Can AI agents really do all of that reliably?
It might require some clever prompt engineering and fine-tuning, but I'm confident that it can be done.
And what about the trade-offs between open source and commercial solutions? Are there any downsides to going the open source route?
Well, one potential downside is the lack of dedicated support. With a commercial product, you can usually reach out to a customer service team if you run into problems.
But with open source, you're relying on the community for help.
Exactly. But the good news is that most open source communities are incredibly active and helpful. You can usually find answers to your questions on forums, chat groups, or documentation websites.
So it's a trade-off.
Yeah,
You might not have dedicated support, but you have this whole community of developers who are willing to help.
precisely. And that's one of the beautiful things about open source. It's all about collaboration and knowledge sharing.
Okay, I'm sold on the idea of open source AI. It's amazing how much innovation is happening outside of the big tech companies.
It really is, and it's only going to accelerate from here.
So where do you see the future of AI agents heading? What are some of the emerging trends that have you excited?
Well, one trend that I'm particularly interested in is the rise of holistic intelligence.
Holistic intelligence, what's that?
It's this paradigm shift in AI that emphasizes the integration of different types of intelligence. Instead of having separate AI models for language vision and reasoning, we're moving towards AI systems that can understand and interact with the world in a more human-like way.
So it's like moving from specialized AI apps to a more general AI operating system.
That's a great analogy. And I think AI agents are going to play a crucial role in this transition.
Because they need to be able to sense, decide, and act across multiple domains.
Exactly. They need to be able to process information from different sources, make sense of these complex situations, and take appropriate actions.
It's like they're the embodiment of holistic intelligence.
In many ways, they are.
This brings us back to the question of the future of work. If AI agents become more capable and versatile, what does that mean for human workers?
It's a question that we need to grapple with, but I believe that AI has the potential to augment our capabilities and create a more fulfilling work experience for everyone.
So instead of fearing AI agents, we should embrace them as partners.
I think that's the right approach. AI agents can handle the tedious and repetitive tasks, freeing us up to focus on more creative, strategic, and meaningful work.
It's like a division of labor. Humans and AI, each contributing their unique strengths to achieve common goals.
Exactly. And I think that's a future worth striving for.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of AI agents. We've covered a lot of ground, from the different types of agents to the open source frameworks that are democratizing AI development.
We've also talked about some of the exciting applications of AI agents, like streamlining business processes and even helping to predict pandemics.
But now it's time to address the elephant in the room: the potential risks and downsides of this rapidly evolving technology.
Yeah, it's important to be aware of the potential pitfalls so we can mitigate them and ensure that AI is used for good.
Well, one concern that keeps popping up is that whole AI taking over the world scenario.
Right.
Are we just being paranoid, or are there legitimate reasons to be worried?
I mean, it's understandable that people have those fears. Hollywood loves to portray AI as this existential threat, but in reality, we're a long way from that kind of superintelligence.
So we don't need to stock up on canned goods and build underground bunkers just yet.
Not quite. But that doesn't mean there aren't any risks associated with AI agents. We need to be thoughtful and proactive in how we develop and deploy these systems.
What are some of the specific risks that we should be thinking about?
Well, one concern is the potential for AI agents to be used for malicious purposes. Imagine an AI agent that's designed to spread misinformation or manipulate financial markets or even disrupt critical infrastructure.
That's a scary thought. It seems like we need strong safeguards in place to prevent AI agents from falling into the wrong hands.
Absolutely. We need to think carefully about who has access to these powerful tools and how we can ensure they're used responsibly.
Another issue that's been raised is the potential for AI agents to amplify existing societal biases.
Right, that's a valid concern. If an AI agent is trained on biased data, it's likely to perpetuate those biases in its decision-making.
So, for example, if an AI agent is used for hiring decisions and it's been trained on data that reflects historical gender or racial biases, it might unfairly discriminate against certain candidates.
Exactly. That's why it's so crucial to address these biases at the data level and to ensure that AI agents are designed and trained to be fair and equitable.
It sounds like a lot of responsibility rests on the shoulders of AI developers.
It does. But the good news is that there's a growing awareness of these ethical considerations within the AI community.
Are there any concrete steps being taken to address these risks?
There are organizations like the Partnership on AI are working to develop guidelines and best practices for responsible AI development.
And what about governments? Are they playing a role in regulating AI?
They are. Many countries are exploring policies and regulations to ensure that AI is developed and used ethically.
It sounds like there's a global effort underway to steer AI in the right direction.
There is, and it's encouraging to see that people are taking these ethical considerations seriously.
Now let's switch gears for a moment and talk about some of the technical challenges that AI agent developers are facing. One of the Reddit threads you shared discussed the issue of memory management.
Right. Maybe one challenge is ensuring that the retrieved information is accurate and trustworthy. We don't want AI agents spreading misinformation or relying on outdated data.
So it's important to curate the knowledge sources carefully and to verify the information before using it.
Absolutely. And there's ongoing research into how to make AIG systems more robust and reliable.
Well, it seems like we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've explored the capabilities of AI agents, the potential benefits and risks, and the ethical and technical challenges that developers are facing.
It's been a fascinating journey, and it's clear that AI agents are poised to play an increasingly significant role in our lives.
But as we've discussed, it's crucial that we approach this technology with both enthusiasm and caution. We need to ensure that AI is developed and used responsibly, with careful consideration of its potential impact on society.
I couldn't agree more. The future of AI is in our hands, and it's up to us to shape it in a way that benefits all of humanity.
Well said. And on that note, we've reached the end of our AI agent deep dive. We hope you found this exploration informative, insightful, and maybe even a little bit inspiring.
And as always, we encourage you to continue exploring, learning, and engaging in the ongoing conversation about the future of AI.
Until next time, happy AI adventures.